What's up YouTube? My name is Michael Wallison and today's video is all about the Zhiyun crane. So I had the Zhiyun crane version 2, as you can see by the joystick, but this video will apply to the version 1 and the version 2. So whichever one you have, this video will hopefully help you out. So in today's video, I want to quickly go over how I balance the crane, and then I'm going to go over some tips and tricks that I've learned to get the best footage with the crane. I'm going to put this on a tripod so I can balance it easily on camera for you guys. So I will be back in one second. Alright guys, so I'm going to start getting into how I balance this, and I know that there's a lot of videos on YouTube that go over how to balance the crane, so I'm going to go over it really quickly. There are tons of other videos like go into it really in depth, but I'm going to show you guys just real quick how I do it. Right now I have a Canon T6S on the crane. I'm going to just be using this as just a reference, a model, I guess. So the first thing you want to adjust is the roll axis, which is the tilting side to side axis, which is going to be the back screw right here with the lettering on the back. So first thing you want to do is just unscrew this and then slide it over until the camera stays straight. I'm not going to do it absolutely perfectly, but I'm going to get it pretty good for you guys. So once the camera is balanced and straight and parallel to the ground, your roll axis is set, you're good. Next thing you want to do is you want to take the camera and point it straight up into the air. If you let go of it and it goes forward, that means it's too front heavy. If it goes backwards, that means it's too back heavy. So in order to adjust that, you're going to want to adjust this screw right here. It should be by your shutter button, the screw right here. So you're going to unscrew this, point the camera up, and you're going to want to adjust it until the camera is looking up into the sky and it stays looking up into the sky. It doesn't fall forward or fall backwards. Then tighten it, then you're good. So now that the camera is pointing straight up into the air and it's not falling forward or backwards, it stays straight up, you're going to want to put your camera back forward, and as you can see, it should either fall back or forward, or if not, then it's already balanced. But if it falls backwards, that means it's too back heavy. Falls forward means it's too front heavy. You guys get the idea. So as you can see, holding it straight up or straight forward, it's falling backwards. So you want to adjust down here, sliding the camera forward or backwards on this base plate right here. So you're gonna want to unscrew this part right here. I'm not quite sure how it works on the V1 of the crane, but it should be pretty similar. You're gonna want to just slide the camera forward until your camera is not falling in either direction. As you can see, mine is not. So my camera is balanced, as you can see. Now it's not done yet. It's almost done. But to make it complete, you're gonna want to take your camera or your crane and turn it on its side. And you're gonna want to take the back end right here with the lettering on it, and you're gonna want to hold it straight like this so it is parallel with the ground. And if it falls, that means it's off balance. So what you want to do is you want to take this screw right here by the handle and loosen it. Next, you're going to take your crane, turn it on its side again, and you're going to slide the adjustment by the screw. You're going to slide it until you can hold the crane sideways, and this won't fall any way. So as you can see, it's falling this way, so I have to adjust it by pulling back a little bit. So you're gonna just keep playing with this until it stays. There we go. Get all those parts balanced, and then once your camera is completely perfectly still and won't move like this, it's perfectly balanced. So that's how you balance the crane. Now I'm gonna get into some tips and tricks and ways that I have learned to get the best footage out of the crane. So tip number 1 is to hold it inverted. What that means is you hold the crane this way. For me personally, holding it like this gave me smoother footage. I couldn't really tell you why, because I don't know the exact like science and physics of it, but it definitely feels more steady to me, and I feel like I was getting a lot more stable footage. I'll show you guys an example right now. This is gonna be footage when I was holding the crane normally, and then the next clip is gonna be me holding the crane inverted, which you guys can tell looks a bit more stable. So that's just one way that I know and I have learned to get better footage with the crane. Tip number 2 is to wear soft sole shoes, or soft stepping shoes. So one of my first days with the crane, I went out to a park with my girlfriend and we shot some footage out around the trees and around the lake. And I was wearing slip-on Vans that day. And as you guys can tell by the footage, I'm gonna show it on screen right here. There is no post stabilization added to this, by the way, but the footage has a bit of a shake in it, as if you can see where I stepped and when I was taking my steps. And that was because Vans, actually I'm wearing Vans right now, they don't have the softest step. As you can see, the front bends, but the back is sturdy. However, running shoes, I don't have running shoes with me right now, but running shoes bend all the way through, so you have a much softer step. So the first day was with Vans, and the second day we just shot some stuff in my neighborhood. And as you guys can see from the footage, it's a lot more stable now that I'm wearing some running shoes with a much softer step, and you don't see as much of that jitter up and down. So that definitely helped me a lot. And obviously, don't walk normally, walk with like a ninja walk. That's a given. I think you guys should know that, and that's in plenty of videos, so I'm not gonna go over that. So wear soft sole shoes. Those are very, very important in order to get the best footage with the Zhiyun crane. All right, so my third tip is to get this, the dual handle accessory for the crane. Now I'll show you guys how this works real quick. All right guys, so you're gonna want to just take the crane, put it through this hole right here, get it down to the middle. That's how I like to do it. Get down to the middle, and then just tighten. That's it. Now you have basically what I consider a less expensive Ronin. So guys, my preference when using the dual handle accessory is to keep the camera below the handles, just like when I use it normally inverted, because I feel like holding the weight up is better than trying to keep it up this way. That's just how I prefer it. That's just what I think works better. But overall, I think the dual handle accessory is a must buy if you want the best, absolute best footage with the crane. Not only are you getting more weight distribution throughout both your arms, so you aren't relying on just one hand or one source of stabilization, you're relying on two. So now you have that extra boost of stabilization, which I think adds so much to the crane. But as well as more even weight distribution, you're actually increasing the weight of the overall setup, which to me is a plus, because when you have more weight, you can't move it as much. So my third tip is to get the dual handle accessory. Spend $100, get this, because it really does add a lot of stabilization. As you guys can see from shooting in my neighborhood with the crane, I actually did have the dual handle accessory attached while I was filming this footage, and it looks a lot better. As you guys can tell, there's hardly any shake that I can tell. And this is all without any stabilization in post. It just looks a lot better. I know that $100 is a lot for just these handles, but if you have the money for it, then I really do suggest getting it, because it will help you get better footage. So tip number 4 is to use warp stabilizer if needed. You don't need to use it all the time. There are definitely shots that I've taken with the crane that don't need any stabilization in post, but there have been some that do need it, as you guys can tell by some of the clips that I've shown already. The way that I like to add stabilization is I usually just use warp stabilizer in Adobe Premiere, and I usually do anywhere from 3 to 5%. I think 3 to 5% is perfect. You know, you could even go down to 1 or 2, but for me, 3 to 5% has been the best range of percentage when using it, because if you apply too much, it crops too much, and you get a little more of a wobble in the footage, which looks really silly. So for me, in my experience, 3 to 5% have been the best way to get the best footage in post. That is my video about how to balance / get the best footage from the Zhiyun crane. This thing is absolutely amazing. I really do love it. I do recommend getting it if you want a gimbal, and also get the dual handle accessory if you have the money for it. It really does help get the best footage. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really do appreciate it. If you like the video, leave a like. If you learned anything, leave a like. And if you have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. I will answer every single one of your questions if you should have them. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. Oh, the frame is so wide.